Hey guys, pardon PABrewNews. Gonna do a beer here, beer here, beer. Southern Tier Brewing Company's New School IPA. Sorry about the glare. New School IPA, the India Pale Ale with a, I think it says with a tropical twist on the bottom. New age hops with a tropical twist. That's what it says. And it is stbcbeer.com, southerntierbrewingcompany.com, southwest New York. I do want to go there because they make a lot of good beer. Aqua, hordi, humulus, and fermento. So water, malts, hops, and yeast in Latin, I'm assuming. Anyway, there it is. 6% alcohol by volume, and this is the cool brewing thing that I was reading. Right there. So anyway, New School IPA, which is hopefully a lot better than New School Metal, because it's all shit. And Old School Metal's not. And I'm listening to some Old School Metal right now. Old School Metal. Some old Merciful Fate. Nuns have no fun. Actually, I've heard they've had some pretty good fun in some of the nunneries that I've read about, but they weren't exactly following common practices, if you know what I mean. Oh, yeah. Actually, it's really cool if you ever read about the Black Priests in, I think it was in Italy or Rome or whatever. I don't know what to tell. It was a little bit before the Renaissance, I believe it was, and They made the basically all the priests' word was basically religious law, and they decided these two guys were pretty bad news, and they went to the nunnery and they basically infiltrated their brains by telling them all this stuff, and they had them doing crazy things. I'm not trying to offend anybody. I'm just telling you history. They had these guys the nuns doing crazy things, the big ORGs, if you know what I'm trying to say, you know, those kind of things with things and just craziness, you know what I mean? And then yeah, they were hung and then burnt a lot, and then burnt afterwards, I'm pretty sure. So I don't think things worked out exactly the way they wanted to, but that was pretty funny. Anyway, what are we talking about? We're talking about cool stuff like nun sex and burning priests and stuff. No, we're not. We're talking about beer. Okay, what the Southern Tier Brewing Company's New School IPA. Hey, things happen when you have titles that make metal guys remember metal. So, big fluffy white head, golden straw hues, very, very nicely clear. The slightest bit of a particleization floating around, almost like hop haze, and even the slightest bit of a pulpiness, I would have to say. But overall, it looks beautifully clear, as you can see with the streaming carbonation before your eyes. All right. Okay, wow. Very nice. Very nice. Tangerines, grapefruit. Almost a cereal grain sweetness actually coming up out of the beer. But very sharp, pulpy, piffy, grapefruit, tangerine, even the slightest bit of a lemon in there, just very sharp, very beautiful. Nectarine, stuff like that. From the last beer. Cheers. It's a bit watery, I'm not going to lie. It's a little bit on the watery side, mid-body. It's a high side of a full mouth, a low mouthfeel, low side of a medium mouthfeel. The last beer I had, I'm not even gonna lie, had almost a astringent drying effect and almost had a weird numbing flavor on your tongue. It's the weirdest beer I've ever had that did that to your palate. I understand there's some beers, like the first time I had Golden Drac, I was like, oh my god, I can't taste anything now. It's so boozy and stuff like that, way back in the day. or maybe like Palate Record and stuff like that. All those notes where I can taste the cat piss for 3 days. Don't know how I know what cat piss tastes like, but you know what I mean. Very smooth, very easy drinking. Nice, playful, peppery earthiness in the background. Hints of pine, hints of something that reminds me of pine, but mostly very peppery, spicy earthiness in the background. You hit wafting, very much wafting, aromatic, the aromaticity of this beer. A lot of tangerines, and I'd even say a little bit of a soft pineapple in the way back without earthiness is coming up. But tangerines, grapefruit, excuse me, definitely pulling forward. Even the hints of sharp clementines, nectarines, those kind of things. Or clementines and how's that thing? Starfruit notes, kind of coming through. Sharp, zesty notes, crunchy citrus notes. They are coming through this a little bit. They're reminding me of that as I breathe. I don't get a super lot on the taste. I do get the grapefruit and tangerine though. Right up front. It's not, I was hoping it would be a little bit more juicy as far as the overall qualities. But for 6%, it's drinking like a champ. Really bitey, nice wafting earthiness, that pepperiness. And those zesty notes are there. They're just not, they're balanced. I'd say with all the earthiness, with the subtle bready malt base that it has, and those zesty notes, everything's kind of balanced. Everything's kind of working together. Nothing's overshadowing it. Maybe people prefer, I prefer a really good huge zest note, like ooh, wow. Okay, this has it, but it's toned down to that balance level. It smells great. If you drink it, you just breathe it, and as it goes, wow. It brings a lot of nice tropical tones. Those nice zesty citrus notes and stuff kind of brings it in with it too. This is pretty good. Southern Tier, I've always been pretty happy with their stuff. It's a little drying. It's a little on the side of drying. For 6%, if that bready cereal grain malt base that I'm kind of getting out of this was kicked up just a little bit, so it wasn't so abrasive on the back of the palate and drying, this would be something that you would definitely want to crush all the time because it's tasty, nice different zesty citrus notes coming out of it, crunchy herbal citrus notes, and yeah, just overall, it's a pretty easy drinking beer. So unfortunately, like the old school, or unfortunately compared to the old school, this new school one's falling a little bit short on certain characteristics. But of course, it's bringing its own vibe and own new thing to the scene. So I like it. Digging all the tropical fruits. The only thing I would say is I would like a little bit more bombastic fruit, and I'd like a little bit of kicked up malt base to make it a little bit more sessionable, so you're not your palate every time you drink it. Some people say like drying makes them want to drink more of it. Me, it's hard to keep on getting that drying in the back end. Other than that, totally crunchable, totally drinkable, really good. I like it a lot. And I'm gonna throw it to the 8.5 personal scale. It's not up with some of those other mainstay IPAs that are in the 9 level. You know what I mean? They're not mind blowing, but they're always there. They're always, you know what I mean? They're always good. You know, so it's a little bit lower than that right now. But other than that, this is a good beer. Paul from PA Brew News. Let me know your thoughts and opinions. Blah, 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 blah. Especially if you had it. Cheers.